For the high-level planetary grid workers, those creating dimensional grids specifically, focus on the geometric aspects of self is needed as intentional power lines into the various presentations of truth as the major component to DNA activation and the delivery of the accessed memory messages to others of like vibrational receptivity. So what happens when you lose that focus? Why would you lose it? Does this mean you have lost your spirituality altogether? That you have strayed from the path or become blocked or held back? When the focus is lost, this happens for predominantly two reasons. Trauma or confusion has created a convoluted and/or fragmented state, or focus is needed elsewhere, if you will. Although directed focus will always be a part of the overall geometric presentation of the true self, true cosmic reality, even though it may appear to you to be personal and not connected to your spiritual path or higher geometric grid working. For the first reason, healing is required. Time for rejuvenation, reflection, transmutation, and analysis. For the second reason, if the move in focus is in alignment with service to others' polarization of light in any aspect, even if the move in focus feels as though it is born out of duty or is emotionally unwanted on some level, if service to others' polarization of light is an aspect of that which the new directed focus is concentrated upon, then this will be turned around, if you will, and utilized within your own greater creativity and mission, path, or destiny. In a great many cases, the move or shift in focus within planetary grid workers will appear as if it is from the global higher dimensional to the personal third dimensional. Often this will be due to both reasons: trauma, confusion, creating the convoluted, fragmented state, and focus being needed elsewhere, containing that service to others' polarization of light. In the highest reality, and therefore the highest truth, there are no accidents, if you will. There are no mistakes, and all is in alignment with the greater mission. If both reasons are the seed points, or known and recognized seed points, for the shift in focus, then both remedies need to be applied, that of deep reflection, analysis, transmutation and healing, and the awareness and acceptance of the service to others' polarized light within the subject or situation of the new focus. What will always be the case here is that the shift in focus is temporary when this occurs within the reality of the planetary and antimatter reality grid workers. You may know these individuals as starseeds, light workers, or indigo children. Yet perhaps way-showers or map makers are better ways to explain these individuals, for indeed they show the way or create the map. Yet ultimately these are individuals who work consciously with the living sacred geometries of reality. We may refer to these individuals as activated starseeds. For DNA activation, memory recall, Merkaba and light body work has begun and is well underway. What happens when focus is lost? Emotions tend to be more presented as taking the lead above the controlled psyche, as in psychic space and psychological balance. Although this is not necessarily the actuality within the activated grid worker, it may well feel that way to them during the perceived loss of focus. We say perceived loss of focus, for focus is not actually lost. It is just the case of one within foggy weather, if you will, rather than clear bright skies and sunshine. One will not know if one is coming or going, if you will. This is usually due to the overload of sensory information coming in faster than processing allows, combined with physical third-dimensional action being taken, often to the point of physical exhaustion within the individual, leading to what many of you may call burnout. It is important in this situation to find time for self-care and nurturing through the bodily movement that creates flow and the intake of higher vibrational nourishment. With loss of focus, this is often overlooked. Yet with the majority of activated planetary grid workers, awareness of the situation is there as it is occurring, as opposed to the non-activated individual who moves through their life this way in a predominantly permanent state, with the belief that this is the way life is. The activated grid worker will be able to attend to the physical needs of the body enough to be able to manifest the non-permanence and the temporary nature of the focus shift that it has already been blueprinted to be. Blueprinted to be temporary and non-permanent. With the burnout state we speak of, may come doubt within your own ability to continue as a grid worker or working starseed, and one may fall into what is often referred to as a depression or a depressed state. This is only the case in the sense that energy moves inward in order for self-reflection and healing to occur. This is a temporary and fleeting state, therefore depression, within its usual psychological reference or meaning upon your planet, is not the same energetic state, although it may feel that way at the time. Those with activated DNA, who have moved into light body and Merkaba work, are immune to that true depression, if you will. Yet they will encounter temporary periods of one's energy moving inward, and lower emotional states such as anger, grief, sorrow, despair and hopelessness may be felt. Yet these are fleeting and transient, and in many cases are felt alongside a knowingness and awareness of the transient nature of the situation, giving rise to hope and excitement for the future. This is not a 0-point field state. Therefore, on one level, one could say one has strayed from the path. Yet that in itself brings with it its gifts, through self-awareness and awareness of the blueprinted reality. Depending on the depth of the negative emotion felt here, we could refer to this situation as a dark night of the soul experience, or more accurately, a mini dark night of the soul, as in truth, this path lasts much longer. Whilst the temporary situation we speak of here is not the dark night of the soul experience in its true sense, it may feel the same as such during the experience itself. The current energies on your planet are causing fast tracking through these times. Yet still, this would not be a true dark night of the soul. We are speaking here of loss of focus and all that that entails within activated planetary grid workers. And due to the activation and the awareness of the work and connection with living sacred geometry, this will be short-lived, temporary, and transient. Often a loved one or family member is involved as the trigger to the loss of focus. For this manifests in one's personal reality, even though this is a reflection of the global state, for the microcosm is the macrocosm. Ending, loss, and change are the most usual triggers. This can be the ending of a relationship or a friendship, the loss of a beloved family member or pet, or even the loss of non-organic individualized matter, such as dwellings, objects, and environments. Change, perceived as unwanted, can also trigger loss of focus, such as a house move, a change within your working or social life or social structure, financial change, and change in individuals and situations around you, even though your own personal reality does not reflect that particular change. Many may feel they have lost their spirituality altogether and have strayed from the path or become blocked or held back. We have spoken of this before, how the perceived straying from the path acts as a springboard into higher grid work and more focus, and all positive polarized aspects within the experience act as triggers into the serving and delivery of new creativity. Creativity is a major key to move out of this situation and back into focus. Yet paradoxically, creativity is difficult to access when focus is lost. One creates a new path, if you will, or certainly a new branch off from that path when one strays from the path. Take the case of the young mother who is a therapist using high-level healing and sacred geometry through crystals. This young mother has to take leave of absence from her work and thus her mission to tend to her sick child. Has she strayed from the path? Or has she simply created a new branch from that path in order to follow a different destiny, even though she may feel frustrated at not being able to work and guilty that she feels that way when her sick child needs her? In this situation, focus may be lost temporarily. Yet when this mother returns to her work and thus her destiny, she has a newfound understanding of children and the illnesses that they can succumb to. Therefore, she has the tools now to create a new crystal healing template born from this experience. The key here, when loss or shift in focus occurs, whatever the cause, is acceptance. This is not always easy when one appears to be pulled from their mission due to the loss or shift in focus. Yet acceptance will give you the energetic vibration you are looking for, which will enable you to extend your path or create a new branch from the original path, reworking your blueprint and creating an invigorated and a refreshed creative template. We may perhaps call this house cleaning, if you will, or detoxing one's reality, or refreshing one's blueprint. Using your computer terminology for analogy, this is a clean install. It is a new upload. Indeed, you are uploading new information into the matrix grid fields of the all and of the all that is you, adding to the Akashic records and thus to the knowledge and experience of Source itself. Therefore, there is no straying away from, there are no blocks or being pulled from, for acceptance will instantly shift the new reality into the original blueprint, remaking your map and bringing all that you experience into the original map, all part of the original blueprint in the first place. You are simply shifting the matrix or moving into a new geometric pattern, both destined, preordained, and known, yet simultaneously newly created, newly discovered, and newly birthed. Acceptance, whilst simple in its presentation, is profound in its frequency. When utilised in balance, it shifts you into the 0 point field. For with acceptance, you are saying, I find joy in my now, and I love my now moment. Combined with gratitude, Not an easy frequency to implement when one sits within this temporary dark night of the soul, loss of focus. Yet if achieved, gratitude combined with acceptance are the tools of the masters. And indeed, masters you are. We are the white-winged collective consciousness of 9. What is the Matrix? Who are the masters? I, Magenta Pixie, am so very pleased to present my first book, channeled from my guidance system that I refer to as the white-winged collective consciousness of 9. Discover the true story of our origins as an energy system, how we lost the original template for our destiny, and how we are now in the process of remembering those lost codes. Learn how humanity may reclaim the sovereignty which is rightfully ours, bringing us back into wholeness, integration, and full understanding of who we are, why we are here, and what we are here to do. Spirituality, metaphysics, and science merge, as the sacred geometry, known as the language of light, is downloaded and decoded. The realization and activation of these ancient codes for a new dawn of man is an alchemical process available to us all. Now is the time that collectively we move forward into a fully conscious ascension and embrace the new archetype of Master of the Matrix.